So let's get started. I'm just going to randomly pull something here from my collection, and I think what we'll go with today is something pretty interesting. So this here is basically Todd Rundgren's first two albums compiled on one disc. I don't have the individual CDs to show you. It was re-released on Rhino Records in 1992. If you own those, which I have in the past, I suggest you go look for this on eBay or Amazon or Discogs possibly. It is a company called Edsel Records out of the UK, and they took a big interest in Todd and released just a slew of releases. I have a lot of them in my collection. These are basically a series that was put out of all of Todd's Bearsville recorded output. There are all multi-disc sets, and they are pretty much cover all 10 of his solo Bearsville releases and all of the Utopia releases on Bearsville. So little by little, we'll probably get to them all, at one point or another. But just to give you an idea, here's basically what some of the other ones look like. This is Initiation and Faithful together on one. We have this actually has three. This is Hermit of Minkalo, Ever Popular Tortured Artist Effect, and Healing, all on one or on two discs, I must say. And all of these come with bonus tracks, incredible booklets. All the liner notes are written by Paul Myers, the incredible writer who wrote the Bible, I guess you could say, of Todd Rundgren in the studio. Wizard of Truestar in the studio, which I have up there. Maybe we'll talk about that one day too. So he writes all the liner notes. The photos are incredible. Also, you get full lyrics for every album. So in some cases, when Todd's original releases of these records, there were no lyrics in a few. Healing, for an example. As far as Utopia, Swing to the Right. So the first Utopia album actually did not have lyrics. So you got all the lyrics to The Icon, for instance, one of Todd's prog rock sidelong classics that we all love so much. So very detailed. The booklets are very detailed. The remasters are phenomenal. I know there might be better stuff out there. My friend Sam Schilling is mentioned to me on a few instances about the Japanese, the some of those releases that were put out, and I'm sure they're excellent also. But they're real pricey. These are actually pretty pricey also right now because they actually were released back around 2012 is when this whole series came out. So, but you can find them. I just completed my collection I have all of them now. And I got them all in the range of like $25 to $40 range. But they're well worth it, believe me. If you can find them, get them, put a pair of headphones on. You will hear things on these particular remasters that you will never hear on those Rhino CD reissues, believe me. I don't want to be too too mean here, but those Rhino remasters from 92 leave a lot to be desired. I'll leave it at that. I won't go any further. But anyway, so that's a little history of what this reissue series was about. So let's look at this one. So this is a particular interest, I think, to every Todd fan out there, because you get Runt, the very first Todd Rundgren album, and then you get Runt alternate version. So as some of us know, if you're a hardcore Todd Rundgren fan, when the album was first released on vinyl, there was a problem at the mastering plant. The album was released in a completely different version than it actually wound up being commercially released. And I forget the exact number, but there was a good bit of them released, and then they were kind of recalled. because they weren't correct. They didn't have the right running order that I guess that Todd had finally mastered. You know, when he mastered it, he decided upon. And on top of that, they included different mixes that weren't, I guess, to his liking. Whatever. There's many stories concerning the whole situation, but on this, you're going to get the full run album. Then you get the alternate run album. So on that alternate run album, you're going to get Broke Down and Busted with an intro that you will not be familiar with. So a song called There Are No Words, which is on the regular commercial release of the album, actually starts Broke Down and Busted. So you have a little snippet of an intro, kind of a different way to start the song. I kind of like it. It works. You get Believe in Me, alternate mix, which is one of his great ballads. We got to Get You a Woman, alternate mix. So if you're like me and you're the kind of person who enjoys different mixes, remixes, I'm real big on that. I love hearing just different versions of songs and different instrumentation. And, you know, Todd being the producer, great producer that he is, you know, you really get a little bit of an inside look into the mind of a genius, basically, is what I'm talking about here. So what you're going to hear some different stuff in some of these alternate mixes. Next up, you're going to get Hope I'm Around early version. So that's going to be something you haven't heard normally on the album. Devil's Bite, alternate mix once again. And now these next two are of particular interest. Birthday Carol, Baby Let's Swing, which is the full Baby Let's Swing. So on the actual commercial release, Baby Let's Swing is part of a medley of 3 songs. And it's basically kind of the first song of 3 tied together. I guess Todd went in, did his usual great job of cutting tape and put them together, and created one like 5.5-minute song. Well, this is Baby Let's Swing, the full length song. So it's fantastic, is all I can tell you on that. I mean, it's really interesting to hear, you know, where he was going with the full song. It works in the medley, don't get me wrong, love it that way, but hearing it this way, I got to tell you, it's worth the price of this CD alone just to hear that. Then we have following that, we have Say No More. I love this song. It's similar to the song There Are No Words, which was on the commercial release. It's basically just a cappella vocals with some orchestral percussion, tubular bells, and some timpani and things like that. Very Brian Wilson, Beach Boys, you know, stacked vocals, layered beautifully as usual. I mean, the man just knows how to layer vocals in the studio. Like, well, the only other person I could compare it to would be Brian Wilson. And the Beach Boys, some of the Pet Smiles era type of thing. So just an incredible song. As you can see or hear, I can't play any of this stuff for you people due to the usual YouTube copyright situation. Working on a situation where I might be able to possibly correct that in the future. So, as it stands, I cannot play you any clips. Just wanted to get that in. So, yeah, we're back to Say No More. Just a haunting, unbelievable, just heart-wrenching, unbelievable. There are no words for that song. Speaking of, going back to the song, there are no words. Okay, and then finally you get Birthday Carol, the 12-minute magnum opus that closes the album normally. And with that, you get an alternate mix. And on that alternate mix, you can really hear some difference because it's a very involved song with several sections. It morphs from ballad to almost jazz rock fusion to a little bit of prog to 60s era pop, similar to, say, the Association or the Left Bank. Just a really good, interesting alternate mix of that song. So I think you'll really enjoy that one. And so that's what you get as far as disc one. So you get the complete Run album, and then you get all the alternate material that was released on the Mistaken release and some other stuff that wasn't even on there. So right there, I'm talking, that's almost 2 albums worth of stuff right there on the first disc. Just can't beat it. Can't beat it. This company really knows what they're doing. We're going to talk a lot more about them. Again, it's Edsel Records. It's actually part of Cherry Red Records out of the UK, which are doing these phenomenal remasters and re-releases and box sets and limited editions. If you go to their website, you'll find just tons of stuff that you'll want to own in physical copies of. Most recently, they've been redoing one of my favorite bands, Bebop Deluxe. They've gone on and done every single Bebop Deluxe album in multiple editions. The most recent one being Live in the Air Age, their only live album, which, believe it or not, is a 16 disc set. Yeah, I said it. 16 discs. Phenomenal. I won't go into it. That's for another show. We're going to do a Bebop Deluxe show if anybody enjoys the music of Bill Nelson and Bebop Deluxe, one of my all-time favorites. So, yeah, Cherry Red, Edsel Records. Next, we have Runt, the Ballad of Todd Rundgren, Todd's second album. And we have here is, of course, the full album, remastered beautifully, as usual. And then we get some bonus tracks tacked onto here. So what we get is live version of Broke Down and Busted from Carnegie Hall, June 30th, 1972, which would have been from the very short-lived Something Anything tour with the Runt Band, as it was known at the time. Moogie Klingman. I should have prepared better for this part. Moogie Klingman, I believe John Simos on drums. Maybe John. I don't know if John Sigler was in there yet, but anyway, the Runt Band. You those who know what I'm speaking of. So it not the best of it. The audio quality on this, you got to remember, 1972. It sounds like it might have been a rough, off the soundboard type of situation, but not so bad that you wouldn't give it repeated listenings. Sometimes with these bonus tracks, these live things, they're good for maybe a one-time listen. You listen to it again out of curiosity, maybe at a later date. This one in particular, I could listen to quite often and enjoy it. So you'll love that. Then we get Believe in Me, Be Nice to Me, and I'll get into the last track in a minute. All from the Sigma Sound live radio concert from my hometown of Philadelphia and Todd's hometown of Philadelphia. The Sigma Sound, live radio broadcast over our beloved WMMR radio station, which was around 71, just finding their way into the oncoming burgeoning FM radio outburst of the early 70s when things started changing over from AM to FM. So Todd went in and with the Runt Band again and did this, like about an hour full concert. It's available all over the place. I mean, I have it across multiple discs here. So it's not like it's anything extra rare, but it's nice that they're all put together here, tacked on at the end. And then the last bonus track is also from the Sigma Sound, but very interesting. Hold Me Tight, which, if you're not familiar, is a very early Beatles song. One of my favorite early Beatles songs. If you know the song, you'll appreciate when I say it's just one of their early happy, just a really happy, nice perfect pop tune. Slice of just pop perfection. So they do it, but it's actually a kind of an edit. It gets faded out at the end. From what I understand, it was due to they had to do a commercial break, so it never actually was fully recorded. It was faded, and I guess it faded, and they popped into commercial, and that's basically how it stands across anywhere I've found it on any of my discs, at least. I have yet to hear a full version. Would have loved to. So it goes for about 2.5 minutes, and then slowly fades into the sunset. So that's your last bonus track on this one. Todd Rundgren, Run, Ballad of Todd Rundgren, with the alternate version of the Run album and the 4 bonus tracks also. You can't beat it, let me tell you. For value for your money right here, friends. I'm telling you. Pick it up. I got it on, I believe I got this one on eBay, about $30, $35. And thank you, stimulus money. Appreciate it. That goes for just about everything I'm going to be talking about. So let's move on. Let's try something else here. Let's see. I'm just going to randomly pull something here and hope you like what I'm going to say. I'll tell you what. Let's go with a DVD. How about that? Something visual. Okay, got a lot of them here to pick from. And I want to tell you that basically, if a little short sidebar here, Todd, being the fact that Todd is not he's not your Bon Jovi or Bruce Springsteen, we're not talking about, a million seller with every release. He's got some huge hits. We know that. And we all love every song he's done. And we think there's a lot of songs that should have been hits, right? But, hey, it's our thing, But I will say, for somebody who basically, to the common person, if you mention Todd Rundgren, we all know the line. Isn't he the guy who did that song, Hello, It's Me, in the 1970s? Yes, he is. But it's so much more. There's so much, but still there's more. Anyway, for a guy who basically, is not what we would call in the superstar hit-making, number one Billboard album side of the music world, this man has a lot of material out there, a lot. So just if just in my DVDs and my multiple disc, limited editions and all that, I think I counted last. I probably have maybe up around 20 complete performances of either Todd solo or Utopia. There's more out there, I'm sure. I'm still missing a few, but I mean across all phases of his career. I mean, early stuff, middle, very recent. So there's just a lot of material out there, audio wise, as far as his CDs and vinyl and etc. and DVDs. And let me tell you, some of these DVDs are just incredible, just phenomenal. And it's, who could ask for more? I mean, I could watch a different Todd Rundgren full concert from front row seats in the comfort of my home, on my big screen, my headphones. Man, it's heaven. What can I tell you? You're gonna love it if you can pick up any of these I'm going to be talking about. Get them. A lot of them are still available very easily. A few very hard to find. A few very pricey. That might not be in your price range. But so I'm going to talk about one right now that's very available and not very expensive at all, and I love it. And that would be this. Oh, it would not be that. That's for a later date. It would be this. And that's An Evening with Todd Rundgren, which was recorded in 2016 or possibly 2015, released in 2016 on the Purple Pyramid label, which has been very active with Todd. It's kind of a subsidy of Cleopatra Records, who also released Todd's last studio album, White Knight, and quite a few other things. But they're responsible for so many great releases in the past 5 years or so. Very, very inexpensive too, and lots of them are available. There's this. There's, the Joe Jackson, Todd Rundgren. I'll be talking about all these in the future, by the way. There's the Wizard of Truestar live DVD and CD, on and on. Great company. I love what they're doing with Todd. I think that, considering, the situation with COVID and everything, it was great to have all of these great live releases. Oh, and we can't forget to mention this one, the Moogie Klingman benefit. They're responsible for that. The 2018 reunion tour, 4 discs, 3-disc set, 2 CDs, and DVD. So a lot of good stuff coming out of this company. A lot of great Todd stuff that if you're into Todd, you're going to love them all. So let's get to this. Evening with Todd Rundgren. This right here is maybe one of my favorite tours and live DVDs that Todd has put out, in my way of thinking, forever. I rank it right up there. I mean, really phenomenal. So what you have here, first of all, is my favorite, not to slight any other musicians, but my favorite version of his touring band, which was we have Jesse Gress on guitar, the phenomenal, incredible Jesse Gress. Get well. I hope you're well. Get well soon. Get weller. Get better. We need you. We want you on tour. We want you back. We love you. We love you, Jesse. Prairie Prince, a drumming idol of mine since I can't even remember. Way, way back to the early 70s, me and Prairie go sitting, practicing his licks, practicing day after day, all those great Tubes records. Yeah, Prairie is a monster, and Todd's got him, and we love him. We love you, Prairie. Kassam Sultan. Do I need to say more? Kaz, the perennial, been there, 1976, late 76, joined up with Todd, and we couldn't be happier. His unbelievable new solo album that just came out is, it's right up there with the best of the Utopia albums. Another phenomenal, incredible artist in his own right, and been with Todd forever. And I just couldn't say enough about Kassam. Unbelievable vocalist, unbelievable songwriter, incredibly underrated bass player. Worked with so many bands. Has toured with so many bands, all the while maintaining his position in Todd's universe, in the Utopian universe. So we love Kassam. We can't get enough of that man. I'm telling you. And this is the important part right here. John Forensic on keyboards, my pal from Philadelphia. I know John from as far back as the 70s. He has been in so many bands that I've crossed paths with. We've never actually played in the same band together, but we've been in the same band at different times. He is legendary here in Philly, an incredible musician, and one of the favorite things about him, an incredible vocalist. So the reason why I bring him up, especially, and not to take away from from any other keyboard players that have worked with Todd, and there's been so many greats. Ralph Shuckett, rest in peace, my friend, and Moogie, Roger, Roger Powell, Gil, Greg from the Cars. But what I want to say about John Forensic is the combination of John, Kaz, and Jesse on background vocals is just, to me, the ideal version of what Todd does in the studio, except in the live domain. And this is the absolute proof of that. You listen to this. I say about this performance here and this tour is these versions of these songs, to my ears, sound the most like the original studio versions, most of which Todd plays all the instruments and all the vocals on. But I have to say, I listened to this, and when it was over, I had to start it over and listen to it twice immediately again. I was absolutely blown away. The audio quality, the mix is phenomenal. The video itself is filmed immaculately, just so beautifully. The song selection is just incredible. We're looking at we're looking at 25 songs here, okay, and it runs the whole gamut of Todd's recorded output. So to me, this is almost like a live best of Todd Rundgren, as close as you can get to resemble the studio albums. And listen to it. I'm sure you'll agree with me. I mean, you take a song like, for instance, right off the bat, something with a lot of background vocals I'm looking at here. Couldn't I Just Tell You, or Can We Still Be Friends? Of course, with the La La La, the layered vocals that Todd did on Hermit. They just pulled off. And I'm going to tell you, the secret ingredient in all that is John Forensic. Okay? John Forensic has the perfect higher register voice, okay, that just blends in there with Kaz and Jesse. Jesse doesn't sing on everything, so a lot of times it's just Kaz and John on those background vocals, and then Jesse does step in infrequently. So, but when you hear this, you will agree with me, I'm sure, that the background vocals really hold up well. To which is no easy feat, because you're looking at Todd in the studio, all his studio albums. I do quite a bit of listening with headphones and really digging in deep to a lot of his studio stuff, studio recordings. And if you start to really pull them apart and just break down those layers, the layering of the vocals, is his trademark. It's one of his trademarks. He has so many, but the layering of those vocals, to reproduce that live, and I'm not going to mince words here. I've had issues with certain tours or certain aggregations that he's toured with, as far as backup musicians, where that may not have been the case. We have the Acapella Tour with the 11 voice orchestra, which is the ultimate version of hearing Todd's layered background vocals in a live situation by 11 different people. And we're going to talk about that too someday, so don't worry. But as far as, the standard, 5-piece backing band, standard instrumentation, this concert here, this recording here, and this whole tour just blows me away. I'm blown away by it. And what you get on this is, so you get the DVD, of course, and then you get a CD. The CD is edited down to 18 songs. So, my feelings with a lot of these double packages like this, I really don't need the CD. I don't drive, so I don't need to hear it in a car. If I ever have the notion to want to listen to this particular thing, and I had the option, why would I want to listen to the CD? I want to watch it, hear it. I don't have a 5.1 system, but if you people do, you got that also. It's all these DVDs are all, to some degree, have alternate audio tracks that you can listen to, either DTS 5.1. Of course, they all have the stereo, versions. So anyway, that's the deal with this. This is a great combo pack here, DVD, CD, whatever you want to call it. This is just the standard DVD. I believe you can get the Blu-ray also. There's the inside, what it looks like. I know my lighting's pretty bad. I'm working on it, people. My friend, my good buddy Rob, is going to be sending me some equipment to make make things a little more clearer for you guys out there watching in the future. So nice little package. You got your 3 gatefolds, 3 panels, beautiful CD. Love it. Love it. How we doing on time? We're doing an hour today, folks. Hang in there. I know. You're busy. You got busy lifestyles. If you got to go, you got to go. You can always watch me later. It'll be up on my channel. So if you got to go, I'm not worried about it. You'll see me sometime soon. Where are we going next? Let's just see. Let's go into a completely different area. How about we try something real different here? I'm going to go with so many great choices. So many. Yeah, let's go with this. Now, we all know what this is, right? Everybody recognizes that beautiful little phenomenal artwork cover. I wrote a review about this on my Facebook group, Todd Rundgren and anything related to Todd Rundgren, which you can find on Facebook. I'm going to be putting some links down below this video to send you over to that. And I also have a second Todd Rundgren Facebook group. And I'll explain that in a future broadcast at some point. Tell you all about that. It's a little something different than your normal Facebook group. But anyway, so what we have here, we have the Wizard of Truestar SACD version. That would be Super Audio CD. It's a double-sided disc. So you have the, I'll show you here, comes in a nice little paper sleeve. Remember these, guys? Remember when you would take that vinyl out and have your little inner sleeve there? Isn't that nice? So this is the Super Audio version. The cover is really great. It's a mini album cover. So you have the now, of course, what would have been fantastic would be the die cut corners here of the original vinyl release, but they didn't go that far. I believe you can get a Japanese copy of that if you like. But here's the inside, which is an exact duplication of the original vinyl. The crazy collage thing that Todd put together here, or him and his artist in residence there. And then you get the booklet, which also features the collage that was on the inner sleeve. Here's all the lyrics and credits. If you're like me, getting older, and you got bad eyesight, you're going to need your reading glasses or your regular glasses to get through that one. So anyway, what we have is, I don't have a Super Audio CD player. I don't know how many of you do out there, but it doesn't matter. This remaster is freaking phenomenal. Let me tell you. Now, I just listened to it straight out of my Blu-ray player, headphones as usual. Man, I heard things. If you could possibly imagine, if you didn't think this recording was chock full of about as much as you could fit on a song or an album, not only time-wise, because we all know the story of how it's over 60 minutes long, and he had trouble at the pressing plant, or the mastering plant rather, with that, because back in the day, or even still today with vinyl, you can only fit so much on a vinyl record. And when you exceed that time, you lose quality. So, of course, we all had that vinyl in '73 when it came out, so we didn't know any different then. We know different now. This here, let me tell you, it's like when I listened to this, it was like the first time I ever heard it. It was like I literally was back in '73. Only this time with that superior audio quality I'm talking about. So, what a treat, man. I'm telling you, again, I'm going to tell you, this was another one. Finished it, and just hit the replay button. Had to hear it twice. I heard things in here. I heard instruments. I heard vocals. I heard sound effects, because we know it's loaded chock full of just everything but the kitchen sink that Todd could throw in here. But I still, believe it or not, heard things on this disc that I had never heard. And I must have listened to this album since 1973. I don't know, up in the high hundreds, possibly somewhere in there. So got this very cheap, like $22. I think I got it off of Amazon. If you love Wizard of Truestar, if it's one of your favorite albums, and you have an affinity and love for that album, pick that up. My guarantee, you will love it. And you will think just what I told you. You will hear and enjoy it quite a bit. So that's that one. And I think what we're going to do is see how we're doing on time. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes left. So let's look at one of Todd's productions. How's that sound? Do something a little different here. I'm going to pull out this guy here. This is an Australian band called Hunter in the U.S. Actually, their Hunter is the name of the two brothers who are behind do most of the songwriting, the main figures in the band. But in Australia and everywhere else, they're known as Dragon. So I guess for the American release that Todd produced, they decided to go with Hunter. This has been very hard to find. I actually got it for like $20 off of Discogs. Had to send to, I believe I got it from Germany. But it's got 3 bonus tracks on top of the 10 tracks that were on the original album. One of Todd's best productions. I love it. He did a great job with this one. Todd's always saying his standard line is when he produces somebody, he would prefer that they come in ready. And the albums, the bands that come in that aren't ready will 9 times out of 10 wind up sounding very much like a Todd album. Which I love. I'm good with that. Tubes, Remote Control, a few others I can name off the top of my head. But then you have the ones, like this, for instance, and Pursuit of Happiness would be another good example. Bourgeois Togs, Yo-Yo, which I love so much, and I'm going to get to that one week. But this album, Hunter, phenomenal. They have a really good pop sensibility. But at the same time, little flashes of a little bit of prog here and there. The musicianship is just phenomenal. They're all great players, absolutely great players. And the songwriting is phenomenal, I think, in my own opinion. I think that there's some songs on here that could have been real hits, if, once again, they were marketed correctly. And, this is the case with so many albums that Todd has produced. Not only do we have an issue with so many of Todd's actual songs and Utopia songs not being the hit records they should have been, but so many of Todd's productions also contain so many great songs that should have been, massive. So it's doubly frustrating in some cases. You got that going on too. This has quite a few of those on it. I feel it definitely. The song Dreams of Ordinary Men, which is the title of the album. Phenomenal song. And then, of course, we have one here, Nothing to Lose. You're saying, I recognize that song. What's that title? Yeah, well, that would be, Todd covered it on Reproductions. So we all know Reproductions is one song each from several of Todd's different production projects and production bands that he's worked with. And so the song Nothing to Lose from Hunter, a.k.a. Dragon, is on here. And, of course, Todd does a phenomenal version of it. But this original version, You can find this on YouTube. Someone uploaded that and one other song from it, and I believe there's a few more things that have been uploaded from the record since in the past couple of months. I've been noticing it's been popping up a little more, so you can find some of that stuff. But Nothing to Lose, this version, original version, phenomenal. Great version on reproductions too. But let's get to this. A song called Midnight Sun on here. Written by Todd, of course produced by Todd. Todd plays guitar on it. Some phenomenal guitars, I might add. I think some rhythm guitar, and I believe, I'd have to check, I think he does do some of the lead work on that song too. Could have been straight out of a Utopia album, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, Midnight Sun, when I hear Midnight Sun, it's one of those songs, for the next couple of hours, I'm walking around with that song in my head. You know, it just rattles around in there, man. Just one of Todd's greatest. I mean, it's a rocker. It's got a real hard edge to it. Very, I would say, if I had to say, utopian in, I would say sounds like something that could have been maybe from Swing to the Right era, or possibly the POV. I mean, it would sound right at home maybe on POV. It is one of my favorite Todd songs. I mean, it's his song. He wrote it. He produced it. I'm sure he had a big hand in arranging it. You don't have to worry about any guesswork there. And that's on this record. Great record. If you can find it, pick it up. If you can find it on YouTube, give it a listen. Another great one. Okay. Moving along. I'm going to do another DVD. This time I'm going to do an actual regular DVD. And this is an interesting one. Let's go with this. Ringo at the Ryman. So, as you can hopefully see, there's the cover. So what we have here is the Ringo All-Star Band from 2012. July of 2012. It was Ringo's birthday at the famous Ryman Theater in Nashville. So it was a real special show. There's a lot of special guests on here. Aside from the All-Star Band, Joe Walsh makes an appearance, a couple others. So this is, you know, Todd's been on the All-Star Band, how many times now? I don't know. I lost count. But he's been with the All-Star Band on several tours. This particular one was one of my favorites. My only issue, of course, there's nothing that can be done about it, but my only issue with the whole Todd performing with these guys is, you know, we got to hear the hits only, which I'm fine with. But, you know, boy, would I love him to break out, you know, something more out of the left field, if he possibly could. That would be great. But as it stands, you know, we do get great versions, of course, of we get I Saw the Light. So Todd comes on, I believe, four times to do his songs. So we get the perennial favorites. We get I Saw the Light, Bang the Drum. We, of course, get the Love Is the Answer. We know that's going to be in there. And actually, that might be it. There might only be three. I know at some point he was doing... what do we got? We got No Hello, It's Me on here. Why did I think Hello, It's Me was on here? Well, so there you go. We got I Saw the Light. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Love Is the Answer and Bang the Drum All Day. That's not really what I like this for, though. Because, you know, I've heard Todd, of course, it's nice to hear them with this particular crew. You know, you got Steve Lukather from Toto, Richard Page from Mr. Greg Rowley, the phenomenal Greg Rowley from Santana. Man, that guy, his Hammond B3 playing on this and his vocals, incredible. You got Greg Bissonette on drums. As a drummer, I can tell you, this man is a phenom. He's incredible. And then you have, of course, the Mark Rivera, who's on all the tours on sax, percussion, background vocals. So really incredible band to hear playing Todd's music behind. So we love that, of course. But what I love about this is Todd's playing on the other people's stuff, you know. So in particular interest is when Greg Raleigh steps up to do Black Magic Woman, and the incredible outro of the song, which is on the original Santana version, but they stretch it out here, man. They go into a good 7-8 minute jam that just kicks ass. When I tell you, it is phenomenal. And Todd's doing all this incredible nice rhythm, guitar work. Just it's Santana, man. So it's all about the rhythm, right? That's a real great thing to see. So that would be that's that. They also do Evil Ways, the other Santana song on here, which is really incredible. So pretty much just about everything. Rosanna. I'm not a biggest Toto fan, to be honest with you, but it's I like the early, I like Hold the Line and stuff like that. But as much as I could say that this version of Rosanna is phenomenal. It's really good. The band is really kicking on this. Of course, all the Beatles stuff that they go into. I want to be your man, and just about Yellow Submarine, all that. It's all good. It's all good. Let me tell you, Joe Walsh steps in. They do Rocky Mountain Way. You get a little Todd guitar action back and forth on that. Him and Joe. And then you got Steve in there too, so it's like kind of a triple guitar threat going on there. We got Broken Wings, the Mr. Mister song. Phenomenal version of that one here. I'm totally into that. People talk. I know the company line on Mr. Mister. People. Let me tell you, they had a lot of good songs. I wouldn't say they made one consistent album that was great from start to finish, but there's some great songs in those first two Mr. Mister albums that were released. And we have to remember, Pat Mastelotto was their drummer, who went on to play with, of course, King Crimson since 2002, since 1998. So without Mr. Mister, we wouldn't have Pat Mastelotto, currently still with the triple drum lineup of King Crimson, and also played on XTC's Oranges and Lemons album, the one they released after Todd produced Skylarking, which I'm going to talk about. I'm going to break that album down one day from start to finish, because that is a phenomenal record. And Pat Mastelotto's drum work on that is incredible. So, Mr. Mister, good song. Love this CD, this DVD. Definitely something you'll watch repeatedly. And it's a really good time. It's Ringo's birthday. They do a whole happy birthday thing in the middle, and everybody comes up on stage, and it's a real good vibe. The audience is just nothing but smiles. Everybody's happy. So if you're feeling down and you want to pick me up, you want to feel good about something, put this on. You'll be in a great mood after you hear this. All right, people. That's the end of episode 1. It'll get better. As you can see, I'm loose. It's not a lot of structure going on here. In the future, there may be some structure. There may not. I like to keep it loose. I like to keep it friendly. I love everybody out there, all my friends from Facebook, all my friends from my Todd Rundgren groups, all my friends over at Rundgren Radio, Rundgren Virtual Vision, and all the Todd Rundgren Facebook groups that are so incredible. There's so many of us, and I ask you to please go over there, and you will find so much great content spread out across, I don't know, there's got to be a good 20, 25 right now that I'm a member of, and I love them all. Of course, I'm partial to mine, but we won't say much more about that. But anyway, everybody take care. Have a great weekend. I'll be back next Friday to break down more Todd Rundgren. I may pop in earlier in the week and just talk about something else. Lots of great theme shows coming up. We're going to be talking about, like I said earlier, we're going to be doing prog rock. We're going to be doing jazz rock fusion. We're going to be doing theme shows. I'm a big fan of Steven Wilson and Porcupine Tree. We're going to be doing quite a bit of stuff based on them. I have a whole collection of all their stuff, lots of DVDs, Blu-rays. We're going to be doing a theme show on the man himself, Mr. David Bowie. Of course, one of my lifelong idols. Can't say enough about David Bowie. Miss him so much. So lots of great stuff coming up. I have so much planned that I'll probably never even get to all of it. That's the bottom line. But in the interim, I hope it's interesting. I hope you all like it. And I hope you all watch me. If you haven't watched me live tonight, you tune in at a later date. It's up on my channel. It's up on YouTube. So I'll be putting a playlist together of all the live stream shows. Right now, if you go to my YouTube channel, I have no less than 20 different Todd Rundgren, Utopia, or related playlists and covering everything. And they're all chronologically put together, date, time, order. You got live, studio, rarities, official bootlegs, live songs, full live concerts, documentaries, interviews. They're all separated into separate playlists. I'm going to put my link to my YouTube channel, which you're watching right now. So all you really need to do is hit that subscribe button, and you're here. You know, you're here, and you'll be there. So take care. Again, I love all my Todd fans. Love all my group members. Okay. And I want to send out a special shout out to my buddy Rob, my buddy Wendy. I better not get started. There's too many people. But I love you all. I love everybody, all my friends on Facebook who welcomed me back a year ago into the land of the living. You're the best. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Peace.